Hey guys, it's me, Apple Train 100, and for tonight, I'm gonna read another book called Toby and the Scout Gentleman, and maybe I'll read the one on the back, which is called Thomas in Trouble. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And like I said, with with the trouble with the trouble in the said book, don't mind if I can't read, so enjoy. Sorry. Here we go. One day, on the far end of Sodor, there was a tiny little tramway called the Sodor Tramway, and the, and and there was one tram engine uh, who run it, and that tram engine was named Toby the tram engine. He he has he had his own coach called Henrietta, who'd seen better days. It's not fair at all, she said. She, she used to be full, but 9 cars stuck behind her. Toby liked his job, rolling along the tramway. It was very peaceful. No cars, no trucks, not even a sign, or maybe not even passengers around. Until one day,
Toby is a tram engine. He has cow catchers and side plates and doesn't look like a steam engine at all. He takes trucks from farms and villages to the main line and is cheerful to everyone he meets. He has a coach called Henrietta, who has seen better days. It's not fair at all, she grumbles, remembering that she used to be full and 9 trucks would rattle behind her. Now there are only 3 or 4, but the farms and factories send their goods mostly by lorry. Toby is always careful. The cars, buses and lorries often have accidents. Toby hasn't had an accident for years. The buses are crowded and Henrietta is empty.
as as Toby rushed along his line, he saw a bus full of passengers, and the lady said, "Look, there's there's the last engine on the line." That made Toby feel hurt, and his driver said, "Oh, Chip, Toby, they are only teasing you," he said. "I agree," said his coach, Henrietta, but Toby said, "Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll be old one day," he said, but that day didn't come. Until when they arrived at the big city, they saw a lady and a scout gentleman was on his platform. He was, of course, the fat controller, but Toby didn't notice yet. "Come on, grandfather," he said. "Do this engine." "It's a tram engine." Is it electric?" asked Widget. "Woos," said Toby. Said her brother. You offended him. "But trams are electric, aren't they?" "They are, but this is a... I'm sorry. What are you?" Uh, "I'm a steam tram, sir," he said, gasping and worried about his appearances. Good to know." Maybe go in him, father, please? He shouted to the conductor. Why, of course you can, said his guard. And they all came in Henrietta.
A lady and a stout gentleman stood on Toby's platform. He was, of course, the fat controller, but Toby didn't know this yet. Come on, grandfather, cried the children. Do look at this engine. That's a tram engine, Stephen, said the fat controller. Is it electric? Asked Bridget. Hush, hissed Toby. Shh, shh, said her brother. You've offended him. But trams are electric, aren't they? They are mostly, but this is a steam tram. May we go in it, grandfather? Please? Stop, said the fat controller to the guard. They all scrambled into Henrietta.
Oh joy, I'm full of people, said his freight coach Henrietta, but Toby didn't sing. Old-fashioned indeed, old-fashioned indeed. I'm proud to be an engine and not a dirty old diesel. As he chuffed along the village line, he saw his next was at Knapford, but later at Harwick. He said, I might buy this engine one day. You might, grandfather? We'll see, Bridget, he said, and that was later still.
Hip, hip, hooray, chanted Henrietta. But Toby did not sing. Electric indeed, electric indeed, he snorted. He was very hurt.
When they got to Harwick, Toby was saying, Wow, what a cheerful ride, said the scout German. But please, what's your name? My name is Toby, sir. Thank you, Toby, for a very nice ride. Thank you, sir. You are a nice man who can answer engines, right? Indeed. What's your name? They call me Bertram, but you can call me the Fat Director, also known as Sir Topham Hatt. Sir Topham Hatt, you're famous, said the little tram engine. Oh, why, thank you, Toby,
asked the fat controller. Toby, sir. Thank you, Toby, for a very nice ride. Thank you, sir, said Toby. He felt better now. This gentleman, he thought, is a gentleman who knows how to speak to engines. The children, the last day of all, the driver invited them into his cab. All were sorry when they had to go away. And the fat controller and his family thanked everyone. Come again soon, replied Toby. We will, called the children. And they waved till Toby was out of sight. The months passed. Toby had few trucks and fewer passengers. Our last
day, Toby, said his manager. The manager said we must close in the morning. Toby felt hurt and very, very sad. He thought no one would ever use him anymore to ride the rails. But then his guy remembered, what about the scout gentleman? Said the yard manager. Good idea, said his guard and his driver. We'll tell him at once at the sheds. And so they did. Next morning.
Open, and he woke with a start to see his driver waving a piece of paper. Wake up, Toby, they shouted, and listen to this. It's a letter from the stout gentleman. Toby listened and...
Well, what did it say, sir? Well, let's see. It says, Dear Toby, I seen your work on your branch line, and I was thinking how'd you enjoy to live on my railway? Oh, dearie me, oh, great tender engines me, said Toby. I would love that, he said. Well, said, said his driver, let's get you fired up. And I'll get you a new piece of coal, said said, his fireman. Look out, Sodor, I'm on my way. But that is another tale. Thomas in trouble. One fine and sunny day on Sodor, Thomas was puffing them down the line when he saw a scout gentleman, but not many. It was a policeman. I've been friends with no one who just retired, he said. Beep beep, good morning. But when he got closer, he was very annoyed.
At the end of Thomas's branch, it goes for some distance along the road. Thomas was always very careful to whistle here in case anyone was coming. Early one morning, a large policeman was sitting close to the line. Thomas liked policemen. He had been a great friend of the constable who had just retired.
Beep beep.
He whistled, "Good morning." Thomas expected that the new constable would be friendly too, but was sorry to see that he didn't look friendly at all. He was red in the face and very cross.
Duh, said, you made me jump, said the policeman. I only said good morning. What's wrong? Where's your cow catchers? But I don't catch cows, sir. Don't be funny. No sideways either. And he wrote it in his notebook. But what do you mean, sir? Well, if you have no cow catchers and no side plates, you cannot run on these rails. What nonsense, said his driver. That makes it worse. I was a legal lawbreaker in my book.
He was red in the face and very cross. Disgraceful, he spluttered. I didn't sleep a wink last night. It was so quiet, and now engines come whistling suddenly behind me. I'm sorry, sir, said Thomas. I only said good morning. The policeman pointed to Thomas. Where's your cow catcher, he asked. But I don't catch cows, sir. Don't be funny, snapped the policeman. He looked at Thomas's wheels. No side plates either, and he wrote in his notebook. Engines going on public road must have their wheels covered and a cow catcher in front to protect people and animals from being dragged under the wheels if they stray onto the line. You haven't, so you are dangerous. Rubbish, said Thomas's driver. We've been along here hundreds of times and never had an accident. That makes it worse, the policeman answered. He wrote regular lawbreaker in his book.
But, sir, I've been going, that makes it worse. I shall talk to your controller when he gets up on holiday. Yes, sir. And he shall know. You shall be sent in your shed to the mine to the time being. Yes, sir. That makes it worse. Said his driver. Ahem. The law is the law. Oh, bother, said the little engine. What will the factotum say? I don't know, Thomas. Complaining. More complaining. Even more complaining. Well, that is not good for my book. I'll go telephone him right now. And so he walked right to his office to telephone Sir Tom Hat on vacation. When he got back, Sir Tom Hat was in his house. He was eating toast and marmalade. The butler came in. Excuse me, sir. You're wanted on the telephone. Borrow that telephone, said the top of hat. When when he when he answered it, it was the policeman talking about Thomas. And then he said to his wife, "I'm sorry, my dear. Thomas is in trouble with the police, and and I must leave at once." "Oh, but dear, you missed the soup course." "Nope, work comes first," he said. And so he walked off to the platform to talk to the policeman. "Oh dear," said the butler.
The fat controller was having breakfast. He was eating toast and marmalade. The butler came in. "Excuse me, sir, you are wanted on the telephone." "Bother that telephone," said the fat controller. "I'm sorry, my dear," he said to his wife. "Thomas is in trouble with the police, and I must go at once." At the station, Thomas's driver told the fat controller what had happened.
Well, what's it all about? I was having a good dinner of toast and marmalade from Patton Bear. Excuse me, sir, but this is very urgent. Your engine, named Thomas, came online with no side plates, no calculators. No side plates, no calculators. How could that be? I agree, said the second policeman. "Well, bother. Sir, tell me he's wrong." "Yes. But, I don't know." But, sir, I, I don't need calculators. I don't need side plates or calculators, do I? "Well, I'm not sure, Thomas. I'm not sure." "Oh dear," said Thomas.
Told the fat controller what had happened. Dangerous to the public, indeed. We'll see about that. The fat controller spoke to the policeman.
Boop, boop.
But however much he argued with him, it was no good. "The law is the law," he said, "and we can't change it." The fat controller felt exhausted. "I'm sorry, driver," he said. "It's no use arguing with policemen. We will have to make those cowcatcher things for Thomas, I suppose." "Everyone will laugh, sir," said Thomas. "They'll say I look like a tram." The fat controller stirred. Then he laughed. "Well done, Thomas. Why didn't I think of it before? We want a tram engine. When I was on my holiday, I met a nice little engine called Toby. He takes trucks from the farms, but the lorries are taking over most of his work, and he needs a change. He has..."
"Oh dear, sir, what are we gonna do?" "I have no idea, Thomas. I have no idea. But, sir." "Yes." "When you were on your holiday, did you say you met a nice tram engine called Toby?" "A tram engine. A tram engine. Why, bless me, of course I did. Toby. We need to bring him to Soto at once." "Who or what is Toby, sir?" "Oh, you'll find out, Thomas. You shall find out. Call him up at once." "Yes, sir," said his fireman and his driver. Thomas was very, very curious about who Toby was. Until the next morning, he finally met him.
A few days later, Toby arrived. "That's a good engine," said the fat controller. "I see you've brought your coach, Henrietta." "You don't mind, do you, sir?" asked Toby. "The station master wanted to use her as a hen house, and that would never do." "No, indeed," said the fat controller. "We couldn't allow that."
"Ah, Toby, welcome to my island. Good to be here, sir. And, sir, we brought Henrietta." "Good to be here too, sir. Good to see you again, Henrietta. And Toby, you shall help out Thomas, pulling cars and taking care of naughty policemen. Yes, sir. And while you're here, you shall pull freight and help the new diesel train Mavis at the Blue Mountain Quarry. Yes, sir. And we'll be your drivers and firemen. Thank you, sirs. Have a good day, Toby. Thank you, sir. And off he went. Ding-ding-ding-ding. And that was the whole tale about Toby.
At first, Thomas was jealous, but he was so pleased when Toby rang his bell and frightened the policeman, they've been firm friends ever since.